Hey everybody, John with Vinely here. And I wanted to take a minute, make a quick video and show you what may be my new favorite turntable. Here we go. All right, so those of you who have been around a while know that I picked up a Technics SL230 for a couple of $100 at a local resale shop, or a repair shop actually. And I love the 230. It's great. It was made in the late 70s and it works great. Love it. Then I went to an estate sale not too long ago and saw this little beauty sitting on in an entertainment center, and asked the lady how much she wanted for it. She said $40. Would you pay $40? And I said, I absolutely will pay $40 for this. Take a look at this. This is the Philips 877 direct control, super electronic, lots of words. But at the end of the day, this is just a beautiful Philips turntable. The 877 was made probably generally between 78, 79, and maybe 1981. This one, according to the serial number, was probably made in late 1978. And these are not terribly hard to find. They're not impossible to find, but to find one in this condition, and I did a little bit of cleanup, but to find one like this in this condition, it's probably $250, maybe $300, and that's before you even look at the head shell and stylus I've got on this one, which is an extra bonus. I'll go into that a little bit later, but I wanted to show you this real quick before I plugged it in and show you how it works. I wanted to kind of go through a couple of features here, okay? So, first of all, what's kind of super cool about this is being made in 1978 is these are touch sensitive. These are not buttons and switches. This is touch control. So you've got the stop and the reject, 33, 45, 2 speeds, separate pitch controls for each of those. That's the pitch meter, which is an LED. I'll show you that when I plug it in. And it's also got a built-in stylus force gauge. I'll show you that too in just a minute. Anti-skate. Obviously, it's got the Q lever, anti-skate dial, and a counterweight. And inside here, hold on, let me lift this up. Hold on, 1 second. All right, so I took off the platter and the record mat, and this is on a suspension system. These springs absorb all of the bumps and knocks, and that's very cool. It also has these, which you would turn for transport, a little transport, if I can figure out, there we go, turn it like that, and then the springs won't push when you're transporting it somewhere, and then turn them off, and then the springs push again. Now this is called a direct control because there's a servo, I think I'm using the right terminology, on the spindle. So it's reading the speed at the spindle and making adjustments. It's not going based on the motor itself. So this is a really, really tight and consistent speed on this, almost as consistent as a direct drive, even though this is obviously a belt drive. But that's why these units are so popular on the pre-owned market, is because of this direct control, which reads the speed, again, at the spindle and not at the motor. So I put it back together here, and I wanted to show you the stylus force gauge, which is pretty cool. It's built into the tonearm rest. So if tell you what, I'll cue this up and move this out of the way. See that little pin on the rest here? That is what triggers the force gauge when you put the tonearm on. I have it now set at 1.5. Now this particular head shell cartridge is best at 1. This is set at 1.5 because this is if I can get in here to let you see it, this is a Shure V15 Type IV, which is a really, really fantastic consumer level cartridge. But it's got this little brush here. I'll tell you what, maybe I'll lock this down. There we go. It's got this little brush here, which helps to combat static and to help clean the record and also maintain consistency in reading the groove. This is a hyper elliptical stylus on the Type 4. Type 4. So there are 3 settings on this. You can have it up, it's out of the way. If it's dropped down, it is active. And if it goes all the way down, now you're just protecting the stylus from if you've got to remove the head shell or whatever. Obviously, keeping this in the active position, that's going to take about 0.5 grams of weight off of the force. So I've got the stylus force set at 1.5 so that, here, let me unlock that. There we go. Set at 1.5 so that when the spring is engaged, it will take the 0.5 off and it'll be going at 0.5, at 1, which is where it belongs. All right, a couple more things to show you before we plug it in. Very nice, super long power cord. And this is the American version. The European version had a DIN plug on the back, but the American version has left and right RCAs, and obviously it has the ground cable. Now, this does not have a built-in preamp, so we've got to use a preamp on this, and I'll take it in the other room, plug it in, show you how it works. All right, here we are with the Philips 877, all plugged in, ready to go, running through my Box X4 preamp and into some powered edifiers. Now, I've got some other speakers I'm probably going to use with this normally, but the edifiers are still pretty good. Link to videos about the Box X4 and the edifiers in the description. So here's how this works. This is a touch control, so touch 33, and you can see how the pitch gauge is now set for exactly 33, and I can adjust that with these knobs here, and you'll see if as I adjust the knobs, it adjusts the speed. Put it back on there. Same with 45. And then you've got stop, which just simply stops the platter. And you've got reject, which stops the platter and brings the tone arm back. Now, these are known for a little bit of warping under here because of some glue that was used on a label inside. So if you've got one that is warped a little bit, like this one is a little bit warped, and the anti-skate doesn't work exactly the way it should because the warping interferes with the spring that's inside. You can try to fix that. It's really hard to unwarp plastic when it's warped, or you can just, suck it up and not worry too much about the anti-skate. This one was pretty solid, but this cartridge, the Type 3, why do I keep saying that? The Type 4, the V15 Type 4, has that little brush that I told you guys about, and that actually helps with the anti-skate. That helps keep the tracking stable. So this is a really, really good cartridge here, and so I'm going to show you how it works here in just a second. Sounds really good. This particular cartridge and stylus really brings out the mid-range. Very highly detailed. You'll see the brush rides on the LP, keeping it clean, keeping it static free. Alright, and because this one does have the brush, here I'll just go ahead and Hit reject on that. And you can see that it'll bring the tone arm back to the rest. And if I lower it down, it will verify the stylus force. So anyway, I do use a little brush here to keep this brush clean. A little bit of a piece of fuzz on there or something. Let me get that off. There we go. Now it's clean. I do use a stylus gel on other turntables, just on occasion, not every single time, to keep the stylus free and clear of dust and debris. But I use the brush here so that I can also brush this brush and get that clean as well. So anyway, I think this is probably going to be my new favorite turntable, just because I love the way it sounds, and paired with nothing wrong with the edifiers. They're very, very solid, but paired with a better pair of speakers, this is going to be really, really great. So I think this is going to be my main turntable going forward, and then the Technics, the SL230, will be my second one in another room. So anyway, if you have any questions, please leave them in the description or in the comments. And really appreciate you guys watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, as everyone says all the time. And I will talk to you later. Thank you. Have a great day.